And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You never heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast where we lie to friends about the movies we've seen. As always, I'm Aaron, joined by my best friend, Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
And just the worst pile of goo on the planet, fucking Scott.
Hello, motherfucker.
just
Can you dig it?
fucking
And you dig it.
the most annoying human being on the planet. Everything is your problem. Nothing is my problem. My name is Scott.
This is already a good start.
Wait till we fucking hit record to air his
already
fucking frustrations.
I already told you this.
Right? He was real nice. We were having a good conversation. 1, 3, 2, 1, go. Scott's a fucking asshole.
Red light comes on. I tell you about my asshole fucking brother-in-law.
He's such a dick.
Let me fucking tell you.
It's the grievance.
My favorite
episode.
thing he does, Jordan, is when he'll be like, "Hey, did you guys see this?" And you already posted in the chat 3 days
It's fine.
prior.
It's fine.
We've already had a full-on conversation.
I'm going to
about
take a
it.
screenshot.
That doesn't
I'm gonna
bother
take
me
a
as
screenshot
much.
of the fact that I take a screenshot one day of like the
ever-
amount of messages that I have when I pick up my phone,
Okay.
and it's like 75. And I'm
Cool.
like, well, I'm not going back through fucking
Well,
75 messages.
read some of them.
I read like the last few.
It's fucking
We'll
annoying.
tag you in things that matter.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's been a week. I just got home today
long.
from Los Angeles. I went and saw some movies out there. I don't know what you guys have been up to. I know Scott's seen some stuff, so as always, we'll start with him because he's dumb and he watches dumb stuff, so we can talk about it.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
Yeah. I mean, well, the week started out, the first movie I got to watch was The Northman.
Oh, you watch it?
Yeah,
finally?
because that dumb fucking movie.
Did you not like it?
I just figured I would just piggyback off of fucking Aaron.
He's just so mad. Make him upset.
That dumb shit movie. What a fucking waste.
Wow.
I watch stupid movies.
Okay. That was it? Yeah, you didn't like it? All right. Well,
No,
liked
I thought it was good. Like I mean, like I said before, it was. I liked the action. I liked the Viking. I liked the whole storyline. I think like there was a lot of similarities to other things. Like I said, like Nicole Kidman's character was like fucking. She was basically Cersei from like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's
And
a very familiar.
Yeah,
movie.
and her acting kind of fucking annoyed me a little bit. Other than that, it was good.
I
liked
gotta
it.
say, as far as people in that movie, she feels like the most out of place.
Yeah, she was. It seemed a
Everybody
little
else
forced.
seemed fine. I know Aaron's girl is in this movie, and she fucking looks like Mon Calamari from Star Wars with her eyes all wide and shit. But I felt like she was believable at least. But yeah, Nicole Kidman just. I don't think I've ever really enjoyed Nicole Kidman movies. And not so much that I hated this movie because of her. I don't feel like she's ever resonated with me. Like, I think the only
like
real
Nicole
movie that I
Kidman.
cared about with her was Days of Thunder. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I never go out and say, oh, I want to go see that next Nicole Kidman movie or whatever. It's like, nah,
She kind of leeches on everybody else.
kind of. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like she was probably, if there was a weak spot in that movie for me, it was her. But, I mean, overall, it is a familiar story, but I thought it was fun. I think maybe the viewing experience in the theater probably helped because I mean, you watched it at home, so it may have felt different.
I mean, I don't really get too much into like I have to see something on a big screen. Like I could watch it because I got my surround sound. I've got the whole thing, so I can turn down the lights and I can enjoy the movie on my TV.
There are movies though where it's like you want to experience how the audience is experiencing it. Like you feed off that energy.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've always said this, and we've talked about it before. Where Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I felt I had a better viewing in the theater than I did when I rewatched it at home. I don't think it's a bad movie, and I know Aaron loves it, but for me, the feeling was much different.
No.
Well, I
And-
rewatched Spider-Man, and the pops in the theater are what was exciting
Made it
kind of
good.
about that movie and made it a lot better. I mean, it's still a good movie, but the audience interaction when the characters were introduced onto the screen and stuff from the other universes, that it was exciting when crowds get into it. It's fun to be immersed.
Like
in
I
that.
said, like just feed off that energy.
Yeah,
That's cool. No. Did you watch anything else?
I did actually.
Ooh.
I had a lot. Like there was a lot of movies this week. I watched some. I'll just brush over this one. I watched some shitty ass like Bruce Willis movie called Vendetta.
I saw that, and I saw you post about it. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
We actually
it's
checked
rough.
the messages, so we saw you talk about it.
And I'm like, this guy, Bruce Willis is just Steven Seagal now, just doing shitty action movies, man.
No, he
'cause
isn't. He's done doing movies.
well, apparently he's not, because he's
No,
fucking
he
in all kinds of
put a
low-budget
ton
fucking
of
action
movies in the
yeah.
can. Like, if you go on any kind of streaming service, you can find. He's almost like a Sam Jackson or a Nicolas Cage at this point, where you can find any
Yeah.
Bruce Willis movie out there, and none of them are serviceable. I think the
just-
last like major big budget movie I remember him in was what was it, Surrogates?
No.
But like notable. Like I don't know what else after that other
Glass?
than was he? Oh, that's fucking right, that movie.
But I think he was in something else after that too. I don't remember.
A lot of those like. This is
No, if we're talking about
this
big
is like
budget.
old school, like straight to DVD, like it's like the sequels to Disney movies where they would just put them right onto video. Like that's how that
Aladdin
was felt.
2: The Secrets of Iago or some shit. Red? No, that was
That
afterwards.
was Red 2. I mean, I think, but yeah, he did a lot of those straight to streaming, straight to video.
Well, it's terrible. Don't fucking watch it. I got excited because I saw Mike Tyson on the cover, like
That's
holding a
right,
gun,
okay.
and he had a hood, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to watch this. You got Mike Tyson, you got Bruce Willis, you got the dude from Sons of Anarchy that played Juice, and then the first Punisher. What's his name? I can't think of his name.
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane. So it was. I got excited, and it was just a pile of dog shit.
That's a guy I thought was going to have a bigger career too, Thomas Jane, and then just started doing these same things where he did a lot of low budget, straight to streaming, straight to video type movies,
Yeah.
and he just kind of pops in and out, but he's not been in anything major in a very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of those, so
What was it about?
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It was Taken. It's exactly what it was. Taken with a murder. The guy
was taken with a murder.
well, so the guy, they murder his daughter, and
Oh,
he
okay, so he's not
basically
kidnapped.
Yeah, he goes on this, like he was an ex-military guy, so he like snaps, and then he goes to like. This is the problem I had.
So
is
Death
the way
Wish?
that it's done. So I'm just gonna spoil the shit out of
He
this.
remade Death Wish.
He's in to pick up fucking Mexican food,
Oh,
right?
Death Wish with Bruce Willis. That was a big budget.
Yeah.
right.
So he goes to pick up Mexican food, and his daughter's in the car, right?
Right.
So this gang rolls up, who is headed up by Bruce Willis. So they're like this big time gang, right? So they.
Wait, so who's the main guy? Is it Thomas Jane and his daughter gets killed, or Bruce Willis's daughter? Gets killed?
No. The main guy is God fucking. You're gonna have to lie. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Frank
'cause
Grillo.
okay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
asking. I'm asking. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Just for continuity, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So
it's
anyways.
just not Bruce Willis's daughter. I think that's
No,
right.
Bruce Willis is the head of the gang. Of
course
So
he
he's so it's this like high gang, right? They pull his daughter out of the car, and they basically murder her as an initiation for one of Bruce Willis's sons to get into the gang. And I'm like, why on earth would a highfalutin gang
Yeah.
need to murder a young girl?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Bruce
I'm like,
Willis,
why?
Mike Tyson, Theo Rossi. Is that who?
Theo Rossi.
Oh, Theo Rossi. He's
He was
kind
in
of like
the-
a
he-
younger actor.
He was in the Taken series on.
yes.
whatever
I
the
know.
series was
I
on.
can. I know his look. I know the guy you're talking about. It
And he's
almost
a
looks
terrible actor.
It's like discount Ansel Elgort.
Yeah.
I love Ansel.
I know.
So it basically becomes him being the Punisher
Okay.
and going after this gang.
Thomas Jane.
Essentially, no.
Is it the Punisher?
No. So Theo Rossi was the guy
Rossi.
from Sons of Anarchy. It's the guy with the beard that was in the Taken series.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. It's dog trash.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
don't
looked-
fucking
it
watch.
looked
I don't even know why I'm explaining it. Because
No,
it's
that's fine.
It's
I was just
fucking
curious.
garbage.
No, we just like when you see things. So I want to hear
Yeah,
all
it's
about
So
it.
rare.
There's still more.
'Cause you're
All right,
so-
keep it coming.
And then I watched everything, everywhere
you
all
watch
at
it?
once.
Oh my god.
Yes.
We could talk about it, and I don't feel bad because I didn't want to
Wow.
spoil it for him. It was
Holy
okay.
shit.
So I watched that,
Okay.
and then
How much did you hate it?
I
knew
no,
it.
no,
I
no,
knew
no.
it.
I didn't hate it. I
He's
just
real
thought
Asian.
it's super fucking wild.
It's.
It's just super fucking wild.
It's awesome.
I was laughing. I was almost crying
Yeah,
in
there were
some parts.
There were
It
some
was-
laughing parts. Like I felt like a lot of it.
Dildo
Some of it could have been
fingers.
trimmed down a little bit, but other than that, I mean, there was a lot of wacky shit in it, man.
Just to get into it, like there was a part where she gets knocked down. They're right by the fountain. He makes this big speech, and then it looks like the credits roll, and I'm like, that can't be it. And then it shows it's not it.
Well,
and
'cause
then
she
I looked
died
at
in that universe, yeah.
Well, and then I paused the movie, saw what the runtime. I still had another hour. I'm like, wow, like I feel like so much already happened, and there's still way more to go.
I just got one word for people who haven't seen this that will excite you, and I don't know. It was probably for me. It was the best part. Was Raccacoonie.
Raccacoonie. I have a buddy who's actually watched it last night
So
too,
stupid.
separate from me, and he's like, I'm gonna find a raccoon. That's my Halloween costume this year. I want to make a Raccacoonie on top of my head.
Because it's hilarious. Because she's talking about it. She's trying to explain the movie, and she's like, you know that movie you like with the Raccacoonie, with the raccoon on the guy's head
Yeah.
that makes the dishes,
That's
and
the
then
joke.
yeah, and then he fucking
He's a real person.
later on. Yeah, the raccoon's on the guy's head pulling his fucking hair to fight.
I like it. She walks into the kitchen and he's on there just guiding stuff, and they're having a good old time. And then he turns around. He's like, "Oh no!" And the raccoon's like, "She's seen too much." I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna try to kill her." No, that was funny. The sauce, the hot dog fingers was kind of funny.
Yeah.
God, this movie. I stopped this movie, finished it up, and it was one of those ones where even though it was 2.5 hours long, I wanted to rewatch it. Like I just wanted to start it right back up and just go through it again. I was, like I said, I was laughing in parts. The fucking dildo fight, fucking, like I couldn't believe it. Like there's these awards that one of the main characters has. They look like butt plugs, and it's hilarious. She works for the IRS. Big joke, haha. The idea in this movie is that you can access your memories, power, skills, whatever from any other universe, but you have to do a certain weird ass thing, like get paper cuts between your fingers or do something stupid to kind of access one of these other memories and basically slingshot to that very fast. Well, apparently she's fighting off these guys, and these guys, to access that power, pull down their pants and are literally trying to impale themselves on this butt plug looking award. And so she's fighting the dude off, and I'm thinking that's funny, and I'm already laughing. And then the guy just slow motion, pantsless, blurred out, flies over them and lands, impales his ass with
Can
this
we
award.
not talk about the fight scene where they both have things shoved up their ass and
Yes.
they're just flailing everywhere and
Yeah.
flapping as they're trying to do karate kicks
It's all,
and shit?
it's all pixelated out, but you can see these things dangling out their ass. Like one
It's-
guy has an award, the other guy apparently
Yeah.
has like a 9-foot dildo.
Childhood humor. That's
I
all
was
it is. That's all
laughing
I'm
so
thinking.
hard, and I'm just sitting there going, "This movie is fantastic. It's
off the rails.
It's nutty. It's crazy. It's really funny. It's emotional. Like it's very emotional, and it's got such a great story to it. And like I said, at points where I'm sitting there wanting to cry. I'm like, this is so sad. It's great. Like I really do wish I would have been able to go to the movie theater with you to see this.
I
Like,
saw
that
it in the
is-
theaters because I care about movies.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
gonna pause this. You get your energy out.
Energy's
Fucking-
fine. I'm letting you guys talk about it. I already
Cranky
talked about it.
bastard.
I loved it. That's my favorite movie of the year.
No, it's you know what? I would agree. That's one of my favorites. I can't wait to own that. I want to look at all the behind the scenes of this shit. Find out all the shit they left out of this movie. Like it's great. It's really good.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. What else?
And then wrapping it up for the week, I mean, Krista just happened to pop on a movie, and I sat and watched it, but it was that Senior Year with Rebel Wilson.
Oh my god! I saw that
Yeah.
pop up on Netflix. I'm like,
All I can say, man, is that like if you grew up in the early 2000s,
this feels like
this
a weird
is,
John
This is gonna be
Hughes
your thing,
slash-
man. This is like 17 again meets Mean Girls meets every 90s movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like trope, fucking. I mean, the whole thing, man. It's just. I mean, the whole premise is that she was this popular fucking cheerleader, and she gets thrown up in the air, and she hits the ground and goes into a coma and wakes up 20 years later, and essentially has to try to finish all the shit she didn't get to finish in high school.
So, do they explain why everyone else speaks English and she has an Australian accent? Because
Yes.
I saw the trailer for
Yes.
this, and I'm like, no one else is Australian. What the fuck is going
So
on?
at the beginning of the movie, she's unpopular, and they
Oi.
came from Australia.
good eye, Mike.
So she kind of redefines herself to become popular, and she
Gotcha.
makes the cheerleading squad, and she's like dating the big football player and the whole thing when she goes into this coma. So then, now we're 20 years later, so she still thinks she's in like 2000.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looked rough. My ex-wife was even watching that the other day and sending me clips saying, "Well, this is Emery," and there's the part where he He gives her first iPhone, and she's like, yes, that's great, because my daughter wants an iPhone really bad.
Right.
And then, like, there's the next scene is, like, she gets her iPhone taken away, and she's like,
she's 37
I'm gonna
years
die.
old.
She's like almost
Yeah.
40, and she's like, what? I'm going to lose it for the weekend. She's, like, all upset, and, you know, she sends me these clips. This is Emery now. This is Emery after we take it away. And I'm just like, fuck, this movie looks terrible.
I love
just
when,
in those 2 clips, I was already upset.
Yeah, I love when
even saw that
you
much.
wake up from a coma and your hair's done and your makeup's done.
Sure.
You know, and you get up and it's like you
Did she just immediately get out of bed and not have like months and months of rehab to regain any
well,
muscle in her legs?
there was a part where she gets up out of hospital bed and she fucking falls down
Okay.
because her legs are like
atrophied.
Yeah, she's been laying in a bed for fucking 20 years. So I mean, they tried to put some seams in there to like keep the movie progression
Okay,
going. But
yeah, I know this is like one of her newest bigger movies after she lost like a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It definitely doesn't look like something I care about. I did see it pop up though. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, she makes like a comment of like, who was in charge of the feeding tubes because my boobs are so big.
Gotcha.
You know, so it's just it's so stupid,
Scott
man.
was sitting there laughing, slapping.
It really wasn't.
I love you, Rebel
It really
Wilson.
wasn't funny. Like my wife laughed at a couple parts.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I mean, it is whatever, man. I mean, it's trying to be like those 90s, like She's All That.
Yeah.
You know, movies like
Teen
that.
comedies,
Yeah,
like
the
just
teen
dumb
comedies
teen
and stuff.
comedies.
But it just doesn't. I mean, it probably just doesn't hit with me because I just don't relate to it because of, like I said, it's more 2000s.
It's not even that I can't relate to these types of movies. I think these things have been done so much
Yeah.
that we've seen it.
It's the same
it's just
story.
same formula.
Dude, if you watch it, it is.
I guarantee you, she
cookie
probably
cutter story.
is flirting and starts to fall in love with one of the teenage students that she is going to high school with. Really?
No.
Because
I
that
mean,
seems like something
you know
she'd
what?
be doing, like
I'll
never
just-
been kissed.
I
or
mean,
something.
I could spoil it because I mean it's.
No, please, I want to watch this.
Chances are that you're ever going to fucking watch this. It's like her buddy that she went to school with in high school was in love with her, and then she hooks up with the football player. So 20 years later, the football player marries the other cheerleader who was like her nemesis cheerleader. Of
course, they
And then
always
at the
have
end of the
nemesis.
movie, she ends up getting with her buddy that she was like friends with because now they're super in love because that was the real love of
Sure,
her life.
and somehow Mark Ruffalo's in it. I don't know.
Yeah, sitting on the fucking couch. In the front lawn.
Yeah, no, I think I'll skip that. But that's funny because I watched. Me and Wesley ended up watching the third Night at the Museum, which takes place in England, and she's in the movie too.
Yeah.
She's one of the she's like the England security guard. So I'm like, this is a terrible English accent. And this is a terrible movie, but
Someone from Australia
Just
doing
like, fuck.
English accent.
There you.
Jesus.
Those movies are beloved.
I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was a stretch. The third one, I just feels like was just a lot of recycled jokes. And they tend to do these things where they take a joke and they just go a little too much on it. Like, we get it. You're slapping each other for 45 minutes. Please move on.
She does make a Fast and Furious reference in this movie though, because when she wakes up, she's like, you mean to tell me there's 8 more Fast and Furious movies?
She probably went out in coma with the first one.
That one it got a chuckle out of me because I was like, oh, it's Fast and Furious, dude. It's fucking 9,000 movies.
Well, shit.
That's
Let's immediately transition to Chippendale with the Fast and Furious reference in that movie.
Fast and Furious babies.
That was so good. It was like fucking Vin Diesel and a bunch of babies in a car.
There was no Vin Diesel. It was just babies.
What did I watch
all
that just had
babies.
Vin Diesel? Wasn't he at the end of in the credits though?
Yeah, he was. in
Okay,
the-
so he did. Okay, I did see him. I'm like, wait, where did I see Vin Diesel?
the Rescue Rangers are around his neck. In the
Yes.
credits. Yeah.
Did you see anything else other than that?
That was it for this week,
Okay,
man.
yeah.
That's a busy week for me.
I was gonna say you're probably fucking tired. He's like, I'm exhausted. It's a
I'm moving
media
out,
overload,
man. I am moving out.
and he had to watch our movie.
well, other than the other movie too.
Ugh.
But, I mean,
Sorry. Yeah, I did not watch The Northman. I did watch Night at the Museum 3.
I thought you were gonna say I didn't watch our movie.
No.
I was gonna be like, oh, okay. It was your
I don't
pick.
know. So after I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, I sat there going, oh, fuck, I gotta watch Dolemite.
Oh, it's worse for me.
Like, it sucks
Worse for
because it's
me.
like, I kind of wish I would have done it in the opposite way where I saw Dolemite, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I watched this movie and ended my night in such a good mood and feeling, and I did it in the reverse. And we'll get into our movie, but I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I almost watched Duel. I still need to watch it.
Well, it's just popped up, so I'm
yeah.
watching it tonight.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably end up watching
If
it.
you would have watched it, I would have been pissed. Not pissed, but I would have been like, God damn, we can't talk about it until next week.
It's okay. We'll watch it tonight. We'll just.
Well,
messages
I'm
back
watching
and
it
forth to each
tonight.
other.
You're not going to watch it tonight because
I'll
you were
watch
like,
it tonight.
I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, I finally watched it.
Yeah, in time for the show. So who cares when I watched it?
I'm just saying that's how you'll say you watch
I
something,
get
but then
busy
you never
sometimes.
watch
Wesley's
it.
got stuff going on.
I'm just
I got
saying,
things.
I know it doesn't bother me. I'm just saying I can't
Getting a
trust
dog that
you.
you're jealous of, so I'm preparing my house
not-
for that shit.
I'm not jealous.
I'm kidding. So I watched those.
I'm happy for you. There's
And
a difference.
then I watched. We watched Chippendales Rescue Rangers, which
Right.
one of the biggest surprises I think I've had in a while.
I thought this
I
movie
saw
was
the
gonna be
trailer
shit.
and it looked like shit. I saw they did different voices. I thought it sounded like shit. And then within 5 minutes, I was already laughing at this movie. So anyway, there was that part at the beginning where Dale kind of like puts the pencil in his eye, and then all the kids in the class start freaking out and screaming, and I was just like, okay,
Laugh.
this is gonna be one of those movies.
Yeah.
And like from then on, it was just reference after reference. For me, this is Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the new generation.
Absolutely.
Like, it is fantastic.
I agree with that, but I didn't think it relied too much on cameos, which is
no,
something
they
I-
were just like in the background.
yeah, and
like they were just there to be there.
It was just kind of fun to see, but like it actually had a pretty good story, and I thought it was the story was actually super interesting. Like there's a machine that can take off your trademark. That
So yeah, the
puts you
idea is
into-
that it's going to change your look and take off the trademark, so it could put you in bootleg properties.
which is hilarious.
So the idea is that they
Beauty
do
and
their,
the Dog Man. Fuck, that made me laugh so hard.
Then at the end they had something about the poo or something like that,
Yeah.
and like the honey eat tree or something like that. It was like a janky looking Winnie the Pooh, and
So these are all the movies you buy in like New York City.
yes,
Like on the streets.
yeah,
the
or
streets,
like
the
yeah,
guys
something
peddling their
you get in
DVDs.
China, or it's one of those things. But the person who's perpetrating all of it is Peter Pan, but he goes by Sweet Peter, and he's a little overweight, and
Little
he's
sweet.
like janky, and he's just upset.
And it's the actual Peter Pan from the original Disney movie.
Yeah,
which I
so
think
it's
is
really
fucking
Peter Pan,
hilarious.
and they're using it as like
Why
he's the
are
bad guy.
polar bears always bad guys?
I don't know, but it's the Coca-Cola polar
Polar
bear
bear,
is
yeah.
the bad guy. It's fucking hilarious.
I might have to check this
Dude,
out.
it's
There's
worth
one part
watching.
where he's running through and he's chasing Chippendale. It's the polar bear, and he's going after Chippendale through a convention. And then he stops and fanboys over the live-action version of Baloo because he's a
Yeah.
bear and that's a bear. And he's like, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. I'm like, the fuck is this movie?
I
was
watched
laughing,
Chip and Dale. I never got into Rescue Rangers because that was kind of way after
Yeah.
like my time.
Rescue Rangers was awesome.
Yeah, but
I still watched it. I was in
I would
high
have been
school.
like 20 some years old watching Rescue Rangers.
No, that was high school because I'm closely to your age, and I would come home after school and literally throw down a bowl of cereal and watch the Disney afternoon. Like
Yeah,
that was
same.
my after school thing. Even in like through senior year, I would just do that shit. So I mean, it was around. I mean, you're looking at mid to late 80s.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 after I got done watching it,
So
and I kind
good.
of want to watch it again. Like
I
I
do
said,
too.
to see what all the stuff I missed.
I'm glad you got that Lego joke because I saw it and I
Lego
just like
miserable.
doubled over. It was so good.
I was laughing so hard. That's slapping my.
Because
knee.
yeah, they throw in little bits here and there, and like you said, it doesn't rely on okay, this needs a cameo to be good. It's just random.
Yeah.
They're going through like this Russian bathhouse, and they're running through the rafters, and you could see down into one of the steam rooms, and it's Randy Marsh from South Park just sitting there in a towel
Which is
giving a
weird because
schwitz.
it's a Disney movie.
Right. And they're pulling in Warner Brothers properties. They got the Looney Tunes in there randomly. They got He-Man and
They
Skeletor.
had Roger Rabbit.
They had Roger. Paula Abdul is at the beginning because it was
She's dancing with the cat.
The cat
cat?
from the fucking video. Like it's
hanging
insane how just little things would randomly show up, and you're like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
To the point where Peter Pan makes a joke. He's something's happened. I'm not gonna ruin it. And he goes like this: "You're gonna like the way you look, I guarantee it."
Yeah.
And then someone goes, "You're never gonna get away with this." He means, and he goes,
The
"Oh, you mean the
Men's
Men's Warehouse reference? Oh, I think I will." And I'm like, "This is a fucking kids movie," and I'm laughing at a Men's Warehouse joke, and it's so stupid and funny. I think the low point for me, and it's like with you, I can't stand Seth Rogen anymore.
He's so fucking
I'm so
annoying.
over.
And he's
his
such a
bullshit.
big part of this fucking movie, and I'm just
He
like,
is. There's a point where
he does that.
he does like
That's all he does. That's his thing now.
He does it as his main character, and then later on he does it where he fell off something. He's laying there, and then all of a sudden,
Everything he's
ever voiced as an animated
piles
property
on.
comes up. So it's like Pumbaa, the live action Pumbaa, goes, "Hey, you look like crap," and then like one of the other characters comes in and starts, and the other one comes in and it's like, and it's like, oh, fucking shut
I
up,
hate
just
you,
stop
Seth
it.
Rogen. If Seth Rogen, if you listen to my podcast, I fucking
He's
hate
making
you.
bombs
I
and shit.
think
He
you
doesn't
are
care
a
about us.
bad actor. I don't think you're funny. I think you did some stuff that I enjoy in
Like
the
the
past.
Green Hornet, you love the Green Hornet.
Actually, that's
It
not
wasn't
a
that
terrible movie. But now you fall into the Dane Cook Island. You're on the island with Dane Cook. You both are worthless. Just go away. It's time to move on. We get it. You're a stoner. You're insufferable to listen to as a human being. I don't care about you. Please fuck off.
He did have a good bit in there though, because they go into this place where it's called the Uncanny Valley, where they're talking about how like animation got kind of too real, but not real enough where you think it's real because it looks weird. And then like he opens a door and his eyes are just dead, looking straight off. But apparently he's looking at you, and they're like, "Are you looking at us? What's going on?" Because she kind of got the Polar Express eyes. And I'm just like,
Was that your John Mulaney impression?
did it sound like John Mulaney?
Yeah,
I think
a
it sounded a little
bit.
John like Mulaney. But yeah, no, I big surprise for me.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
huge surprise. I watched it last night. Me and Wesley. He started watching kind of halfway through because he was playing his Switch. He was playing over, whatever. And then like it
Should
just
have hit him and made him watch the whole thing.
You know what? I didn't mind. Like I rarely have anything that I want to watch that I can let him watch. So it was nice to have something I could just throw on that maybe, if I'm watching it and he doesn't, I don't care, but at least I could have it on. But like halfway, maybe not halfway, but like a little less than halfway through, he was just, I could look over at him and he's just staring at the TV. And then we're just both laughing and it was really good. It's good for people like us that just want to watch something that has the references. It's got a lot of adult humor, but it's definitely something nice to actually have to watch with someone younger. And it makes sense. Like, fuck, they even had a Scrooge McDuck jumping through all the
I like that.
the money in the Russian bathhouse. And I'm just like, dude, this has everything I want in this movie. Even, oh shit, I'm not even going to ruin this, but the ending, he's like, we want the character, the duck.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
hilarious. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck yes. I was so happy about
It was
that.
Darkwing Duck.
God damn it. I don't want to ruin it for it.
It's all good. It's Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing
everybody.
Duck came in at the end. He's
He's
like,
a-
we want Darkwing. I'm just like, please do a Darkwing Duck movie.
A live action one?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, everyone else is live action but him.
See, the only reason I know half of these is because, like, Kim watched a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of that stuff that she watched. So I know,
Old
like,
man
the,
Winter over here.
like
He thinks
Duck-
he's like 90
no,
years
like
old.
Duck-
Like, I
DuckTales.
sure did fucking hate
like
everything.
DuckTales, but like Darkwing Duck was past my thing, dude. I'm like, I
was
just
too
wasn't-
busy tapping ass, so
No, I
there was
just-
no chance for duck shows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
too busy,
I know.
getting in
He's like,
chicks, too busy getting in chicks' pants to watch DuckTales.
We know that's not true.
I love DuckTales.
Anyways,
But yeah, I watched
They're
that.
insufferable.
Huge surprise for me.
probably
Like,
couldn't answer your phone when you were a kid. You're like, I don't know what that
Didn't have a
thing
phone.
does.
I didn't even have a phone until I was in college.
Okay.
Pager.
I'm not talking about a cell phone. I meant your landline.
Man, nobody's calling.
right.
We know.
Doo-doo-doo.
I was too busy working.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was really.
I can't think of anything else I watched. There's a few things that came out on Netflix, like TV show wise, that I want to watch. Called Love, Death, and Robots. Season 3 came out. That looks really cool.
I
I've
never
heard great
watched
things.
any of that shit.
First season's great. Second season, and then that's the third season. I guess is really good. And then next week we got to figure out Top Gun comes out.
Yeah, I'm already. Kim's like, you can't go without me, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to go without you. So we're probably gonna go on Thursday night.
I've already seen one guy call it a masterpiece, and that it's better than the original.
That's what everyone keeps saying. Like, oh, it improves on the
The
original.
The flight stuff looks better than the original,
Well, clearly.
but we'll.
Because
I guess we'll
this
find
time you
out.
get to actually like see them in cockpit, and he's an insane person was actually in planes filming this shit this time. So
Because he wanted to like fly a plane, they were like, no.
this guy's got licenses for every vehicle ever known to man.
Yeah, but I think he actually asked to fly like an F-16, and they were like, no, Tom, sorry.
He's like, but I got lots of money.
Come on, you saw me hanging off another plane. We'll be all right. So yeah,
Ever heard of a little film called Mission Impossible? But okay, so
What did
anyway-
you see?
Oh, so much. Well, I saw.
anyway, my next movie was Dolemite.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to move on?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So my ass flew out to Los Angeles. I spent a day there. It was miserable. I'm very tired. We're doing this at like 9 o'clock at night, and I just want you both to leave so bad.
As opposed to any other time.
No, I usually don't want you to leave. I like it when you guys are hanging out, but I just want to get this over with.
He's like, I wanna go to
I'm
bed.
so fucking tired.
He's
Well,
gonna slur
I
his
actually am going to
words.
watch that movie, but just to like wind down, and then I'm going to go to bed. But so first thing I did yesterday when I landed in Los Angeles, I went and ate breakfast, and that was really fun. And then I went to this AMC in Burbank, and I had like 4 hours to kill before my first movie of the day, and I didn't do shit. I sat in a fucking Starbucks.
So, real quick, that picture you posted, and I know this is an audio medium, but the picture you posted, when you described what the food was, at first glance, I thought you were eating like funnel cake for breakfast. I'm like, this man went to a place and got funnel cake with like whipped cream. I'm like, you fucking asshole.
Eggs, sour cream, chorizo, and potatoes.
But if we all know Aaron,
I
that
thought it
would
was
not
funnel
be
cake.
as far-fetched.
Right.
Oh, depends, I guess.
Doctor's like, you got to change your diet and don't drink coffee. This man's drinking Starbucks and eating funnel cake for breakfast.
So did you get a character coffee?
No.
No?
I just got a cold brew because they changed all the characters. They were all like Olivia Rodrigo and
Jesus.
like Doja Cat and stuff. So I
What was
like,
this? What was this? It was like a theme restaurant or something?
No, it's called Red Maple Cafe, and it's where me and Scott went when the last time we went to
Right.
New Beverly out in Los Angeles.
Good, like home cook type meals.
Yeah,
man.
we
Like,
were
really good.
We
like,
found
good
it
food.
like we were looking for somewhere to eat. And we
Is it
just-
like a hen house?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Kinda
it was
comparable.
super tiny.
Everything's
Okay.
potatoes and eggs and just
Yeah.
I mean, just
good down-home cooking.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
This
good
guy
goodness,
got like
yeah.
a regular meal in front of me, and it looked just as good as mine. But like mine is so good that I'm like, I don't know how to like, you know what I mean? I don't
How's
know
your
how-
pancake, sir? I'm gonna eat my funnel cake.
No, he had like a
Are you gonna
huge
be
plate
leaving
of
soon?
like eggs. And
He's gonna eat off their plate.
yeah. So
No, but they had these like cappuccinos.
Yes.
And they had these little, so they make the little paper, like
Oh,
the
so
little
little
paper
pictures?
things with the pictures that are edible, and they put them on top of the cappuccino. And like, who'd you get last time? Leonardo?
no, it was Brad.
Was
Pitt.
it Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
that's
so you
kinda
got a Brad
fun.
Pitt.
But this time they didn't
Cappuccino.
have anybody good. They clearly switched it up because, like I said, it was like Doja Cat,
So
fucking
weird.
Tom Holland. I was like, I don't want any of these. So Nicki Minaj was one of them.
Ugh, I
So
want
I
her
was
in
just
my
like,
coffee.
no, thank you.
Because I mean, they had like it was Leonardo, Brad Pitt. They had
Yeah.
like Tom Cruise. They were all like big name
go
celebrities.
back to those people, please.
Yeah, and
Why would they switch
well,
it
they
to
kind
these?
of did a
I
180. on
almost
that.
got the Tom Holland one only because it was it was like a chocolate chip, like macchiato or something.
So
which
it's like an
sounded
actual
really
like
good.
themed drink with their picture. It wasn't just like I'm
They
gonna
just put
get
it on
this.
top.
Could you
Yeah.
put this picture on it?
They put
Okay.
it on like the sugar thing. They put it on top, and it just melts into the foam.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have like the
No, I
picture
know
on
what
the
you're
foam.
talking about. I just didn't
Yeah.
know if like you order a cappuccino and then you get to pick who you want on
No,
there.
no, no.
It was just like everything's a theme.
everything has like the Thor. Thor, his is like salted caramel.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, last time they let you just order that.
No,
and
no,
then
it was
order
all-
whoever you wanted.
No, it was the same thing.
Was it?
Yeah. That's why I got Brad Pitt because his was like the mocha thing that I
Yeah.
usually get. So
Now is this place far from the New Bev? Because I think
Nope.
one of these times I want to try to go out with you. It sounds like something I would like to try.
we're going 100%. If we go, that's the first place we got to go.
Literally, all it is like seating outside.
Yeah,
There's like
I sat outside.
no room.
I literally-
there's no room to get in. He
There was-
sent me the lonely picture of our empty table sitting
I
there.
saw that picture.
There was
He's like, we sat here once. I'm like, oh, this message is for Scott.
It's like sad
I
music.
miss you.
Violin music playing.
Inside, there's 3 tables,
Right.
And then those were occupied. And then outside, it's like all free seating. And it's fine because it was nice and cool. I wasn't burning up or anything. I actually
Right.
got really cold while I
last
was
time
there.
it was dude. I was like right in the fucking sun.
Oh, no,
and it
this
was
time
like
it was
I was
awesome.
in an oven.
The guy kept checking on me, and I was like, "I'm just hanging out, man. Like, let me live my
he's
life."
like, listen, sad man, by yourself. Are you okay?
Oh, that was the best part. Is
Hey, I
everywhere
recognize you. Where's your
I can't
friend?
tell if you're homeless or not. You have very nice clothes on. for a
everywhere
homeless
I
man.
went, it was like just me.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
Sir, are you waiting for someone else?
No.
They take
'Cause-
away like the other like plate.
Later on, I went to
We'll put these away for you.
El Coyote, which we never have to go to again. It was
Dude, I
it was
told you it looked like such a shack.
it was so expensive.
Is that the one that's
Really?
in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
$41 for just me.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, what did you get?
A tamale and 2 beef tacos.
No, thank
Who
you.
the fuck do they think they
Is that
are?
with dip?
Dude, but I will tell you this: there was a lot of, I guess, industry people there. Nobody you would recognize, but the guy, like the owner, came by, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I saw this in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I didn't get the chance to try it last time." And he goes, "Oh yeah, we know that guy's a writer at Cartoon Network, and that dude he oversees stuff for like HBO Max." And I'm like, "Oh really?" And he's like, "Yeah, we get a lot of like industry people in here."
That's
I'm
kinda
like,
cool.
I
Like
was
for
like,
the
okay.
nerd in us, like
Yeah.
that sounds like a fun.
I was like,
little thing.
okay, but I still just paid $41 for
for a fucking taco.
Fucking-
Do I get their numbers with this?
Yeah.
Like,
So, yeah, as I was leaving, I guess there was like a big party of like people, like they were having like something had just wrapped filming and like a bunch of people were coming in, but I had to make it to my movie.
Right.
So, and speaking of movies, so yesterday I went and saw Min at the AMC in Burbank, which was M-E-N.
Mend.
It's the newest venture from A24, the director of Annihilation, which Jordan always has to be like, oh, the book is better.
Yes, the one time this ever came up, I said I didn't appreciate the movie as much.
The
I
movie's
liked
very
the book.
good. The movie is excellent. And Alex Garland, who directs it, he is a great director. He directed Ex Machina.
So good.
And then he directed Annihilation, which was very good. And then he directed this new movie called Men. And it is one of the most fucking weird movies I saw in my life. At the last 20 minutes of this movie, I wanted to rip my eyeballs out because it is
An
so
A24 movie is a
fucking
weird
crazy.
fucking movie.
It's weirder than
So
weird, dude.
okay, so basic premise of this movie, because I can't honestly piece what's going on based off the trailer. Like,
Okay,
it's so batshit crazy.
Basic premise is this girl. She goes on to an Airbnb, not
Yeah,
out in the middle of
England
the country,
or-
England or whatever it's called, and her husband has just committed suicide because they were getting a divorce, and then she starts seeing this guy everywhere, this man everywhere, and then weird stuff happens, and then it kind of like it's like
it was a metaphor for her period. I don't know. It's A24.
definitely a metaphor for the main girl in it is Jessica Buckley, and she is awesome. Like, I really enjoyed her.
I didn't recognize her from the trailer, but maybe if I could look her up on.
Yeah,
I might see
and
something I've seen her in.
I really wish I could spoil it for you, but I'm not going to. You're just.
I mean, you can for me. You may not for the audience if you don't want to, but
I'm just gonna spoil
I'll
it,
catch
'cause
it eventually, but I guarantee you I'm not going to see it
so,
anytime soon.
As I said, this lady she's dealing with her divorce of this guy who killed himself. At least you think he killed himself. What he does, he gets really mad and he like grabs her phone and he's like reading her text messages, and then he hits her in the face, and she's like, "Get the fuck out! We're done. Like, get out! I never want to see you again." And I guess he busts into the apartment upstairs, and he's trying to crawl down the thing, and he loses his grip, and
so he doesn't kill himself. He just
well, that's the thing. You don't know if he jumps or if he
gotcha.
And it's like this
Slips and falls,
yeah,
yeah.
it slips and falls. So anyway, she goes to this country house, and the guy, his name's Jeffrey, like kind of lets her in, blah blah blah. She sees this naked man, calls the police, he gets captured, looks exactly like the guy but she never puts that together, which I thought was a really weird part of the movie. If I had to criticize the film, because I actually really like this movie, it was the fact that she doesn't put that every single man in this town looks exactly the same. And so she winds up going to this church, and the vicar is like a huge asshole to her. Is like, "Whoa, did you give him a chance to apologize? Maybe it is your fault." And then she meets this little kid who calls her like a stupid bitch. And then she meets some other guys, and just weird things start to happen. And then at the end, you see these guys giving birth to themselves. It's fucking weird.
So they're just multiplying.
Kind of, but it's all so you'll see the weird guy, naked guy who can't talk, he'll get his hand chopped off, and then everybody, all of those guys have their hand chopped off. So then
so they're all connected, but
yeah,
so weird.
and then
And they need butt plugs.
at the end they all have they're all pregnant, and they're giving birth to one after the other. So the weird naked guy gives birth to the Jeffrey character, and then the Jeffrey character gives birth to the vicar, and then the vicar gives birth to the kid.
So men can have babies.
Dude, it was fucking
we better
wild.
move on
And
from
what
this topic real fast.
Like I said, you kind of have to watch the film, but it is a metaphor, and what I think it's a metaphor for is apple doesn't fall far from the tree. All your toxic personality can be passed down if you don't change your ways. Blah blah blah. It's very metaphorical. I loved it. It's haunting, dude. It's all music. It's very little dialogue, but it's just it's haunting. It's one of my favorite performances of the year with Jessica Buckley. I thought she was incredible in it. The rest of the movie is so fucking batshit crazy that I kind of would like to watch something that explains or something, because my takeaway from it is there's this huge apple tree, and they all stand by this apple tree, and then apples fall, and it's just like, okay, so that's probably like an apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and then it's like the dude's giving birth underneath the tree, and I'm like, okay, so this kind of I'm trying to understand the metaphor.
The real metaphor was men were pretty good until women came around and started eating apples.
So I don't know if you want to check it out.
I'll probably end up checking it out. I like the main guy. His name is like Roy Keener.
Yeah.
He has been in a lot of things.
Him as like
random
a
characters.
regular guy, he's good. Once he starts playing all these other dudes, you're like,
he played a
creepy.
good part in a show that I really like called Penny Dreadful. He played Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, cool.
So he was that.
He looks like Frankenstein's monster with his weird ass teeth.
He's been in like the James Bond movies.
British people. Their teeth.
He's been he's very British.
Yeah, what is he playing James Bond? Q?
No, Q was some other dude. Let me look it up. Hold on. He was. Oh fuck! Come on.
I know,
right?
No, I'm kidding.
He was Bill Tanner. He was just like a bureaucrat, one of the guys in
yeah,
MI6. So like he's been in a few of them.
Okay.
He was like Q's like right hand like man type.
Yeah, and if you watch this, you'll recognize him, but you don't know where you'll recognize him from, and then you'll just want to.
I think he was in one of the first episodes of Black Mirror. The ones where he has sex with a pig.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the dude.
But like.
Fantastic! I got so turned on. Anyway.
The CGI in
Cut it out.
like when he's a kid, is so off-putting.
They're not like full-on men. They come out as babies and grow up to be men.
No. So like he plays like the main guy who like shows her around the house.
Gotcha.
Then he also plays this kid who's like pretty mean, and it's like all CGI. Then he plays like a vicar.
Weird.
Or a priest or whatever you want to call it.
No, I understand he's playing various parts. I like when I'm thinking like
no, they all come out fully grown or as a child, whatever.
So just whatever version comes out. Okay,
and there's only so many versions.
I wasn't sure like they give birth
like,
to like a baby version of themselves.
She goes to a bar and there's like 50 of them around, and they all look the same. And I'm like, why are you not noticing? Like,
so she really just doesn't notice this.
No, she never notices it. And then at the the last scene, it's her like husband.
Just all T2s.
And I'm just like, what? So you just gotta.
It's polymimetic.
You gotta watch it. I'd love to discuss it with somebody who's seen it, but
I'll check it out. Yeah, eventually. Won't check it out.
And then I went to the New Bev after that, and I saw for my first time ever, There Will Be Blood. 15-year anniversary, 2007. Somehow, No Country for Old Men won the Oscar that year for Best Picture. It should have been
the same year, really.
Yeah, it should have been this fucking movie, but whatever. I mean, I like both. But this movie just fucking next level insane. Like I've never seen a better movie. I don't think.
If that lost
year.
out to for no, wow. I didn't realize that was the same year.
But Daniel Day-Lewis won.
I think he was Best Actor.
Best Actor, and it won Best Cinematography.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie.
So yeah, it was insane. I loved every second of it. And then I watched From Dusk Till Dawn at midnight, and that was wonderful. And then I had to try and get back to the airport, which was really hard. And
so you didn't like actually stay like in a hotel. You went straight back to the airport.
No,
for some reason I thought you stayed overnight. And
I
then,
picked up Aaron, and he had his phone.
That's it.
That's exactly
that was
what
all
he had.
you had.
He went to L.A. with his phone.
Oh my god! I don't think I've ever got on a plane with not even like at least a backpack.
No, nothing.
They were watching him, man.
Yeah,
like,
I imagine
this
motherfucker.
This guy getting on with no
I went through
luggage
security,
bag.
and the guy's like,
him down.
The guy's like, bag, and I was like, no. He's like, I'm just going to L.A. for the day, and he's like, okay. So I'm like,
is this business? Yeah. No, I'm gonna go watch movies.
Yeah.
They're like,
I showed up,
Sally. You need to watch this.
I showed up to LAX, and I was the first guy in security because
LAX or Burbank.
LAX. I flew home from LAX.
Oh, okay. Because you told me. Okay,
I flew into Burbank and I flew out of LAX.
Gotcha. Ugh, terrible.
Actually, it wasn't bad.
Really?
The LAX one.
I've heard so many bad stories about LAX.
Maybe if I would have been, it would have been busy, but it wasn't busy. I was the only one there, and a homeless guy eating fries. And they opened.
He's like, here, you look like you need some.
Oh
fries.
no. He's part of security. It's fine.
They opened up TSA, and I put all my stuff in. The guy's like, no bag.
All your stuff.
Yeah, my wallet and my charger, my phone, and he's like, no bag, and I was like, no. He's like, you're good. And I'm sitting there like putting on my watch, putting my wallet in, and I'm looking at the TSA lady, and she's like, you're good. You're the only one in line. So I got to my.
I don't think I've ever done that.
I got to my gate, and I tried to sleep for a little bit, and then Chick-fil-A opened, so I got a burrito. chicken
Fucking-
filet burrito.
It's like it's that scene in Chippendale where the cheese smell was coming through.
Yeah.
You heard that smell, that Chick-fil-A, and you just start floating through the sky.
Pretty much. And then I was so fucking tired that I was like getting sick, and I was just like, oh, I just want to get home. I want to get home so bad.
Yeah, because I woke up to your message. Remind me if I ever want to do this again to tell me no, because it took me forever to find an Uber, and it was like going to be $70.
Yeah,
I'm like, no,
I was
fuck
telling
you.
him I had to wait almost an hour for an Uber to pick me up because it was. So I checked the Uber rates as I got out of their Whaleby Blood, and it was like $12 to get to LAX. I get out of fucking from dusk till dawn, it's $70+.
Yeah, because you've cut it down from 30 people out there driving to the one guy that's probably going to rape you. And yeah, he's going to charge you $70 first.
And for context, I picked Aaron up at 5:45 on Friday morning.
Yes.
And you didn't get back until what?
9 a.m. this morning,
Yes.
and I slept until 3. And then
that
I
sounds
watched Chippendales Rescue
I was gonna say,
Adventures. And now we're
immediately
doing
watched
the show,
cartoons.
and it is 10:10 at night.
That's
How long
funny.
have we been going?
Who knows? Who cares? Okay, yeah. So men, see that Alex
Nice.
Garland. If no one's heard of this guy, you should. He did Sunshine. He did 28 Days Later. He did Dread. Like
Did he do Dread?
Yes, I love this guy's movies. So
Not
men,
Annihilation.
he's okay.
It was very good.
The book was better. Anyway, so yeah, I'll go see it. I'll watch it.
You won't go see it, I promise.
I won't go see it, but I'll watch Men. Like I'll watch it.
I know. In the shower?
Yes,
You'll watch them?
I'll watch Men.
In the shower.
Yes.
Okay, so Jordan, it is your
Don't shake your head at me.
Drum roll, please.
your week. What did you decide we were watching?
I wanted to go something different. Like I said before, I watched My Name is Dolemite. It was a Eddie Murphy kind of biopic of Rudy Ray Moore and the making of the 1975 movie Dolemite, which is what we watched.
Damn, look like my women is on time. Baby, I could sure warm you up.
No shit, baby.
I can dig it. Dolemite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game. Breathing down your neck. Damn! Damn! Girl, this motherfucker's got rhythm, haven't you? I've got an all-girl army that knows what to do. They'll box as hell and practice kung fu. I put my finger in the ground and turn the whole world around.
You know, you're still the best man that I know in bed.
I'm waiting for Dolemite.
For who? Dolemite, motherfucker. You. And tell him I want him out of here in 24 hours. And 23 of them are already gone. God damn, Mama, this sure is a spooky joint. Yes, I'm Dolemite. I'm the one that killed Monday and whooped Tuesday and put Wednesday in the hospital. Called up Thursday to tell Friday not to bury Saturday on Sunday. I'm the one that had the elephants roosting in trees and all the ants wearing BVDs. From the first to the last, I give them the blast so fast that their life is past before their ass has even hit the grass. See me, uptown, downtown, crowned and renowned. Delayed, relayed, mislaid, and parlayed. Hatch, match, snatched, and scratched. Whack, jack, smack, crack, boot black, blackjack, racetrack, and flapjack, and still coming back. If you crave satisfaction, this is the place to find that action. Coming to this theater as this next attraction is the picture that will put you in traction. Dolemite.
And let me tell you, this was like watching
What a fucking movie.
This was like watching Ed Wood direct a movie. Like this was crazy edits, weird music, old man white ass. I thought he was gonna go full junk.
I don't know. We got some
Towel.
Bush.
We got Bush. We got Bush Light. We got.
All I can say to really set this movie up.
I thought it was a porno at some point.
I mean,
I
it was
almost.
damn close.
I thought it was gonna be.
There was so much,
The music
like,
was porn movie.
he loves sucking titty in this movie.
So much titty.
So much sucking
I
titty.
think that's
man.
all he could do.
That's all, and it was so awkward. But
in the car.
yeah,
The old white
dude,
titties.
like everywhere he goes, he's like, I gotta suck titty. But this movie, just to put into context, if you haven't seen this movie, it is like they're doing a practice run.
This was
Everything is a practice run.
a student film that got only the first take.
It was?
No. This was like, this is a bad student film that
Yeah.
it was all one take only. They never filmed another take, and they made up the script as they went.
Well, they were like, let's just run through that whole karate scene real quick. You're not gonna kick him in the face. You're really not. You're gonna miss him by like 3 feet.
Fucking 3
Dude,
feet.
that's
at
perfect.
least.
We're leaving it in.
No, cut
we're
it.
fucking leaving it in.
Cut print. We got to get to the next location.
Yeah, I mean, just the acting is fucking horrific.
So
This movie itself, and just again, this is one of those movies where I think it falls into the category. It's so bad that it's good.
I found myself enjoying it and not knowing why.
Yes.
I was texting him last night about it, and I sent him the clip of the when he was fighting the cops,
Where he missed him by like 2 feet.
He jump kicks one of the cops in the back and knocks him down.
I
he
laughed.
punches the other
I
guy.
laughed so hard at that part.
And then when he got back up after hitting the car, he did a roundhouse kick that, you're right, you probably could have fit, a box set of whatever Aaron's movies of the week are in, and it would have fit right between foot and face. Like, there was no
So obvious.
It was so obvious. They were pulling punches. None of the things, none of the hits actually landed. There were parts where, and there was a scene, and I can't remember where it was. You could see the sound guy clapping in the corner to simulate the hits. They didn't even take the sound guy out.
I didn't even notice that.
Go back. Oh, I'll find
You
it
don't
for
need to
you.
go back.
I'll find it for you. But it was. If this wasn't pretty much borderline pornography, I could see
so
Mystery
close.
Science Theater like just ripping this movie up.
So
And it's-
close. There's a scene where he's in bed with the woman that he picks up, and I can't remember what her name is. I mean, because there was so much batshit craziness in this
Well, this
fucking
was the
movie.
70s. No one had a normal
Yeah,
name.
so he picks her up, he takes her back, right? So he begins by, he's like, I'm going right in to suck some titties again. And he's awkwardly, like he's like trying to like get comfortable, but he's trying to make out at the same time. And it was the most awkward fucking thing I've ever seen.
Living in oblivion.
And then it cuts. It cuts,
What if I'm
and
on
then
the
he's
bed?
like,
He's
oh,
walking-
baby. Oh, that was so awesome. Like, they just cut the entire, they were just like, okay, foreplay? Okay, we're going to cut it here. Okay, we're starting back up again. Yep, you're finished.
We could sit here and we could dissect how it's directed all day long, but these are how black exploitation films were made. So
Yes,
I
but
don't
I
want to
have
spend
seen
too much
ones that
on
were-
time on that.
I've seen ones that are more cohesive though. Like, the thing is, like,
It
this
was
was the
bad.
typical 70s porn music, which is fine. I expected that. It felt like if you cut out the nudity and some of the language, this could have been like a cop show.
Yeah.
Like a cop procedural show where, you're watching like, bad car chases in like 75 Caprice Cadillacs, and like, it was weird. And for the longest time, you really didn't know what the plot was going to be, because at the beginning they call him in, and the warden's like, hey, Dolemite, you want a cigarette?
I'm super white.
I'm really white,
He's
but
like,
I
nope.
also, been listening to Queen Bee here, who
Queen
can't
Bee.
act herself out of a paper bag, and she like mustering one tear, and she's convinced me that there's evidence out there to clear your name. We'll just let you out, and you find out. Just let me know.
right.
I'm like, no, like, how does this happen?
It was-
And then he walks out. He's in like a nice suit, gets met by a Cadillac full of bitches.
Changes in the parking lot.
He just changes, like, fucking takes everything
down to his
off,
chonies.
and then throws it to white security guards. He's like, burn this shit or shove it up your ass or something like that. And the white cop overacts so bad. I feel
Nah,
like
man.
I feel like they just found this guy and
I'm
said,
gonna
hey, do you
keep
want to
it.
be in this movie? No, man, I'm gonna keep it because you'll be coming back
You'll be
soon.
coming back soon.
He's like, fucking white honky, and it's just like,
He said, "Wipe your ass with it."
wipe your ass with it. No, I'll keep it. You're gonna be here soon. And it was so bad. And then it's like they're getting chased by some corrupt cops that originally framed him. So then, he pulls out a gun and kills them, and then makes them dance. And it's just,
Yeah,
it's
like
a weird movie.
Like they set him out to get this Willie Green guy. like his arch nemesis pimp, and he's got the cops are like, hey,
evil pimp.
yeah, we're gonna put you out here so you can get Willie Green for us, man. So you're gonna work for us,
Right?
But there's only 3 people that know that what you're doing on the outside, and
one
then
of them
it
is the
becomes-
governor.
It
like
yeah,
Face Off.
it becomes that movie. Plus, it also becomes him fighting with the 2 FBI agents that are trying to put him back into jail. And it's just this whole
framed him
fucking
for
back
cocaine
and-
or
Yeah, it's
something.
just this whole back and forth thing.
Well, and then it's like
It
a
had to be real
subplot.
cocaine, by the way.
Yeah,
It
had
probably
to be.
was.
And it had like a weird subplot where the preacher was running guns for the main bad guys group, like the Four something,
Yeah, I don't know.
and he was like having sex with the same black chick from like Road Trip, where she looked like someone skinned a cheetah. It was. This movie is just a series of random events that led to
There's like a talent show halfway through.
there was a talent show halfway through because he had to get his club back.
Well, that he had to do his bit, man, because that I guess that was the. I don't know much about this guy and his comedy because I didn't even know he's a comedian. I thought he
Yes.
just kind of was like, oh, he's just this guy that played Dolemite, and now he's kind of like this iconic character for this community. I guess that was his character in his stand-up albums was Dolemite, so he had to do like his fucking his spiel and his shtick in the movie.
Yes,
Why are you
and
talking like that? You notice he's like making a black voice over there. It's fine.
What?
You are. Go back and listen.
can you dig it?
Can,
Anyway,
I just said he's talking about his
I
album.
understand, but just you're like doing it with like an inflection. It's fucking hilarious. Wait till you hear.
I
it.
don't know what you're talking about.
Aaron's getting like really uncomfortable right
No,
now.
I'm not at all. I just think it's
He's
really
like, I'm
funny.
gonna get
But the
fired
fact
for this
that
on
you're
time.
like you're not you don't hear it is
I
even
hear it.
more
I'm just
fun.
not
Okay.
making a big deal out
Oh,
of it.
okay.
I don't know.
No, it's just the reason I picked this movie is because of that biopic. My Name is Dolemite, and if you watch that, it makes the making of this very interesting. Like just what he went through to get it done. Like you said, you didn't know he was a lot of this. I knew because I watched that, and that's I think what served me better going into this movie is like, okay, this is bad, but he put a lot of work and effort and money, and it was weird where he went to like some like Armenian or Russian like radio studio executives that gave him the money to do it. And you're thinking this whole time during the making of this is that it's never going to sell. He's going to be in debt to these guys. No, he ended up marketing it, just guerrilla marketing. Went to like these little tiny theaters in like fucking Missouri.
I heard he
And
like sold shit out of the back of his
he
car.
sold
and-
stuff. Yeah, he literally was a hustler. He tried to get this stuff done, and it ended up making money. And he paid the guys back. So like it's very interesting when you watch the two together. And put the actual movie into context.
So you know what this is then? This is the black community's version of The Room.
Yeah.
Because the movie of the making of The Room is probably better than the actual Room.
Yes.
Because The Room is such a disaster to watch, but it's one of those so bad it's good movies.
I disagree, and I'll get into it in a second. But no, because this is its own genre. There's
Well,
no,
yeah, but-
there's no
Well,
genre.
yeah, I'm not comparing it as genre to genre. I'm just saying it's like that. Where
No,
it's,
but The Room is in its own category. This is considered to be one of the greatest blaxploitation films of all time.
And
So-
I think the reason why it's good and regarded like that, I think it's because of the story of how it was made. I really do think it was like a guy who literally pulled himself up from nothing and made this thing and was represented on the screen. And it's all the same thing with all the blaxploitation movies. It's like, they were being represented. It was telling the story of the streets. There was one part where he walks up to this crackhead, and the crackhead I thought was going to fight him, and then he hugs him, and then he goes and does crack while like heroin.
Well,
while he was-
apparently that guy was actually.
I feel-
I guess they pulled him off. From what I understand, they pulled him off the streets to do that part because he was actually super fucking weird. So
Right.
he was actually being himself in the movie.
Right, and there's another movie, so it is related to this movie, but it is not, like a sequel or anything like that. There is a movie, and it's a spoof, but it's after watching this, I see every
Undercover Brother.
no Black
kidding.
Dynamite.
Black Dynamite. Yeah.
And when you watch Black Dynamite and you see how everything happens in that movie compared to after watching Dolemite, I'm like, they just literally just did a spoof movie of just this one movie. It's not even so much all blaxploitation. This is literally beat for beat the same shit. And I could see the influence. I mean, it influenced people like Quentin Tarantino, Eddie Murphy. It's got
Now
a place.
You can give your history lesson.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. I'm done.
No.
Well, film-wise, you could see from the main title sequence to the way things are shot and stuff. I mean, you could see where it's Tarantino, where his influences came from this movie, because there's a lot in this movie that screams Tarantino and his style of directing.
Right. I mean, just characters like Jules or Foxy Brown. I mean, Pam Grier's characters in a lot of his movies, and you see where he got a lot of his influence from. He did have the grindhouse type movies, but these were part of that. These were, you weren't going to see these at 8 o'clock at night in a predominantly white area. You're going to see midnight showings at a small, locally owned theater that, sure, I'll play it. I mean, these were those types of movies, and it's got merit. It's not the greatest movie. It's not well made. It's got lots of flaws. I mean, the acting is atrocious. The dialogue is so 1975.
It's bad.
To the point where it is very bad, and it's janky, but I think it's still fun in a weird way.
Yeah, in a weird way. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of fun moments in this movie that I actually like. It was
like roll your eyes. You're like, oh my
it
god,
was so absurd that it made me laugh. And those are things that I think, like, I mean, again, it's not a great movie, but there was a lot of stuff that made me laugh because I was like, oh my god.
But it's
this
unintentional.
is out of
Like, it's not even supposed to be funny. Like, later on, where Dolemite's in the hospital, and they're like, we're gonna hide you, Dolemite, because we know the hitmen are coming because the hit's on you. So the guys come in, and the main FBI guys, they get the guys that come in to get them. They kill them off, and then the two cops come in, and somehow the FBI agent is in this hospital room but hiding. But how? Because he just comes off screen like he took him by surprise, but just walks up and then puts his gun up. Drop your guns, honkies. And I'm just like, how did you not see him coming? Like, it was so weird. Like, some of the stuff is just feels super forced. Like, they just didn't have any. I mean, obviously, none of these people have any experience in this. Like, one of the main guys who's in this movie also directed it. Like, so he's pulling double duty, and there's just a lot to it. And I mean, shoestring budget, but it's still, for me, it's fun. Aaron, sorry, go ahead. We're just dominating the conversation.
Yeah, I know.
You're asleep.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to fucking talk, but you just want to ramble. So I was just letting you ramble.
Hey, raise your hand.
I don't need to raise my hand. No, I hate you for picking this film, and it's not because you picked it. It's because I don't think this is a movie you're supposed to watch alone. I don't think this is a movie you're supposed to take home and see and just sit down and watch. It didn't feel like that at all. I can definitely say that this isn't a bad movie, but it's not for me. I don't like these types of movies. I don't. I didn't know that until now, and I'm not going to blame Headspace on this one because I don't think I just wanted it to end.
Yes, but now that you've seen it, though, now does it make you feel like, okay, now I know that this is maybe not something for me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In that.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's not for me. Blaxploitation films were never for me, and I don't have anything against them. And people who like them, that's awesome. I know a lot of really reputable people who make their livelihoods with movies who love blaxploitation films. That's wonderful, and more power to you. Not for me. I can't do it. It makes me feel stupid. It makes me feel dumb, and I couldn't have any.
Like, I want to know, like, what makes you feel dumb when you watch them? Is it just
trying to believe all the stupid bullshit that's going on screens? And that's what I'm saying is this movie is not meant to be watched alone. Maybe if I saw this at the New Bev or at Majestic or at Harkins even with a bunch of people and we're all laughing and stuff, maybe I'd feel differently about it. But sitting down and watching it like a normal movie felt stupid. It felt really dumb. Like, who would choose to watch this? And I didn't like that. It made me feel like I was watching a Fast and the Furious film. Like, like you're just supposed to believe whatever the fuck is going on, and I got frustrated with it immediately, and I just wanted to die watching it, to be honest. No, not really, but it just wasn't for me. There's nothing against blaxploitation, or it's nothing against this film. like I said, this is considered the Citizen Kane of films, and but it's not for me at all. Like, I will never revisit this, and this just will push me further away from that genre because it's.
You don't want to watch Black Belt Jones now?
No, I don't. And I know a lot of people like this stuff, and I know a lot of people.
Honestly, I do love it. Like,
okay, that's great.
Because I feel like to know cinema or to feel like we understand things, especially like when you have to revisit the past to know what's happening or understand how things are being made, these belong. And I understand that
I'm not
it doesn't
saying they
fit
don't.
for you. For me, I love it.
And that's the point I'm trying to get across. I'm not saying they don't belong. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that people shouldn't watch them alone. I'm saying they don't feel like movies that should be watched alone. They don't feel like movies that should be on home video. They feel like movies that should stay in
35 millimeter on a big
niche. Yes, at midnight when after you've had a couple of beers or smoked a bunch of weed. Because to me, there's just nothing redeeming about it. And yes, that's fine if Tarantino took a lot of stuff of this. Jackie Brown's my least favorite Tarantino film, but not because it's a bad movie, just because I feel like he does other stuff better. I don't have any problems with this film overall. I just personally do not. This isn't for me. This is not my thing.
How many other types of movies like this have you really experienced? This or
no?
Others? I'm
trying to give you a fucking answer.
I for the question.
I saw Black Dynamite, and I see.
I thought you said Black Knight. I'm like, that's not the same.
What's the huge Martin Lawrence?
What's the other one?
Undercover Brother, Black Dynamite.
That, and I didn't even.
But
care
those
for
are like spoofs of.
Yeah,
the genre.
I know. But I saw the big one. I can't think of it at the moment.
You're talking about Shaft?
Superfly, Shaft?
No, I have not seen Shaft, but I can't think of it at the moment. But I've seen, when I was working at Hollywood Video, I remember watching another one, and it was well better. It was way better than this, but it still wasn't for me. And
I'm just wondering, like, people always come to me.
Why
and
do
say,
I have to like this?
I'm not saying you have to like it.
Okay.
I'm not trying to push it on you. I'm trying to understand. Like, is it just this movie that kind of turns you off because it is poorly made? I'm sorry. I love this movie and I hate this movie.
I don't
it's
mind
weird.
poorly made films because I love grindhouse features. I love anything horror that's just crappily made where you can see like the ghost on a wire and stuff.
Oh, I love that shit.
And it's not that it's poorly made. It's just it doesn't. I mean, maybe they're right about some things. Representation matters type of thing.
Right.
Every white guy in this movie is fucking retarded. And
there was one guy that was enjoying his little show in the parking lot in the back behind him. He was really into it.
And I just couldn't relate to anything that was going on in the movie.
I understand that.
And
obviously I don't relate. I'm white as fucking
right. And that's what I'm saying. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't want people to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy this. Like, go let this be your type of film. No, not for me. I don't want to be in the same
definitely
conversation.
a film that will serve its purpose to the right audience.
Yeah.
And going back, like I said, and I just kind of circled back to The Room. I watched The Room by myself alone because we watched it for another show that we had done way long ago, and I was like, "This is fucking terrible."
But
I'm like, "Why on earth would I ever fucking watch this again?"
But then we went to
the theater to see it,
and it was the best time ever.
It was way more fun. It didn't make the movie any better,
right?
It just made the experience
and
better
I've
because
seen The
we were
Room
in the
theaters like 5 times, and every time I see it, it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't be against seeing this again in the theater or any blaxploitation film in the theater, but just going home being like, okay, I'm going to look at my cinephile collection.
No, you're not going to sit there and go, you know what, I want to watch Dolemite.
Pull it out of and that's the problem I'm having. What is it for? Who is it for?
Well, it's not for anybody now. Like, no one now should ever go back and watch this as just as a LARP, just to like experience something. This is, you're right, something that should be experienced in a group.
People coming up through that time, though, it was probably a representation for them.
You had things like Shaft, Superfly. You had this, and
so it was kind of one of those like, hey, this is the time period where, hey, we can identify, because I guess that was the biggest kick with this movie, was that they said that black men were able to see a successful black man on screen
that wasn't a pimp. That wasn't.
I mean, he was a pimp though.
Not really though. Like,
yes, he was.
But see, here's the thing. Technically,
he literally had an army of
ninja women.
Kung Fu ninja women.
They were strippers
where he could
suck
titties.
But he wasn't pimping them out. They were They were hired women. Sex work is real work, Aaron.
It wasn't.
No, it isn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't interpreted that he was
I'm just
technically
saying, like,
a pimp, but I think he was.
He wasn't a drug dealer. He wasn't like he was
Yeah, yes, he
technic-
was. He was literally in prison for dealing drugs.
That wasn't
he
his drugs.
didn't do,
they put
but-
on. They
planted the mink coats and the drugs on him.
Right. Like I thought he was just in jail for the coats, and then they said
It was all
drugs.
very
I'm like, okay.
stereotypical stuff.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Well, because Willie Green set him up. Did you watch this movie?
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Yes,
No,
I
all I'm
did.
saying is that, like, for me, this discussion equates to when people try to tell me, "Oh, you just haven't had the right type of wine." Maybe I'm just saying, like, I don't like wine. No matter what wine you put in front of me, it's not for me.
No. Try the Cabernet.
I'm just saying,
I like
like,
wine.
maybe. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe there is a blaxploitation movie that is of a higher quality, like a Shaft.
It
I
doesn't
haven't seen
have
Shaft.
To, it doesn't even have to be high quality.
I'm
And
just
I will
saying-
watch Shaft, but my thing is if I get the criterion of Shaft and I come home and I put it in my DVD player and I sit there and watch it by myself, I don't think I'll enjoy it as much as if you two retards came over and I watched it with you. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
there
then.
is a mystery science theater experience when we watch something batshit crazy
So-
that we want to talk about. And I understand
The
that.
point is that I'm trying, and that's the point I'm trying to get
I know.
across. This movie is not meant to be sat down and watched the way we watched it. Nobody should watch it that way. No one. If I was basing it on that score alone, it'd be a 0.
So basically, this is the ultimate headspace movie where it's
No.
like you have to be.
But there's a lot of movies like that.
Better.
I don't think that. I mean, you could sit down and you could critique a movie just to watch it by yourself, and you could, like you said, I think I would more enjoy this if I was in a.
I
in
wanted
a
to text
setting,
you
in a-
every
in an
second
audience.
something weird came up. Like I had to stop because
Right.
I was like, this. You could literally, after the woman came, the mayor or the governor was having sex with 2 people in bed. One was his wife, apparently. One was some black chick. Then he went to go get on the phone, and then the black chick came, was going to kill him. Wife comes in with a fake karate chop, shoots her. You could see her moving around in the shower
Yeah.
still. Before she gets choked out by naked white man, like it's a series of
which
weird
only
ass
which
shit.
only takes 3 seconds, by the way.
Fuck, you
'Cause
can
when
choke a bitch out in
Yeah, when
3
he
seconds.
chokes her out, man, she dies. I'm talking immediately.
She's like, "I'll get you." It's like it is a series of weird ass shit.
look like, baby, we got to wrap this up.
I feel like this is
You gotta
on.
die quick.
If you were to put this on like a spectrum, this is on the far end
autism
of
spectrum.
this is on the far end of what most of the other movies that are more popular are. Like I think, and I keep coming to this, but like Shaft or like Superfly, things that were better made that might feel like something you could watch and enjoy much more than this. Because you're right, this is a let's just get together and laugh at some shit.
But this is also one of those movies that you put in the bowl that is coming from that. What influenced is that
Yeah.
is an influential movie for a lot of things. So this was kind of
Everything. Yeah.
this was kind of a baseline for a lot of stuff. You know,
Well,
whether
and-
it's black cinema, whether it's Tarantino and doing his stuff and his exploitation films,
Right.
and doing things along that line, which I still find it weird to call it black exploitation. Like I think it's almost like a derogatory term in a sense
But
to me.
it's that's the genre.
Yeah,
like
it just- I
that's
don't
just
know,
what
it's
it
just
is. Like there was an episode of what was it? Seinfeld, where they kept calling someone something. It's like, wait, can we use that? Or Puerto Rican. It was an episode of 30 Rock, and Salma Hayek was the guest, and she's Puerto Rican. And every time someone says she's Puerto Rican, and then they all question whether or not they're allowed to say it because they're all white, and there's like, wait, are we allowed to say that? That's how you're right. That's kind of how this feels.
Yeah.
But to me, and as much as it's gonna feel like I'm hyping up because I chose this, I feel like this is the essence of this show.
Nope.
No, listen.
We should stay far away
Listen,
from these.
No, I'm just saying this is the not maybe so much of this genre or this movie particularly, but this is the essence where something else influenced me to watch this and to pick it, and it is such a weird, divisive, but it's literally I'll watch it later. Like these are the movies we need to watch. We can't just hit the mainstream. We got to hit some of the weird shit. Good
Weird
or bad.
shit is fine. This isn't it.
This isn't a movie that we were going to watch.
I would have
back
never
in the
watched
day,
this.
in the,
Yeah.
anyways, because this is just not. I mean, again,
That's
this is
exactly
not our
how I
thing.
felt about it.
But I'm glad that we were able to watch it because I do
I'm not.
know about
I
Dolemite. I
don't
know about
care.
Dolemite. I know about Shaft. I've never seen any of those movies because you know what? I can't relate to that stuff, man.
I've seen
it's just
bits and
not me.
pieces of things every now and then,
Yeah.
but you're right. I've never sat down and watched Shaft. I've seen the remake with the Sam Jackson and Christian Bale, and I really enjoy that, but I've never seen the original with Richard Roundtree, and I feel like now I have to visit some of this. I won't bring it to the table here, but I
can.
now if
I'll watch it,
I'm just
whatever,
saying,
but
like,
I'm just
I'll
letting
spread it
you
out.
know.
But I feel like these are things that
Well, for my next movie pick,
Black Belt Jones,
Jordan's like, it's
my
the-
N-word Charlie.
Jordan's
I
like,
really wanted to do that one so bad because
Nope.
honestly, I've read that it is a very good
then
western.
you watch it.
I will.
And then let us know how it is.
might have to
I'll
watch it
use
all
it.
together.
Nope.
All, that
That might
that'll be our Christmas show.
Cockfighter too.
Yes, we'll bleep out like half the show.
What was I gonna say? Just Jordan's thing. I have to choose an epic war movie or
No.
something I would never watch in a million years.
No, it's
Like,
the like I
go
said,
F
it's
yourself.
the essence of this show. It's one of those things that you've heard about, you've
Yeah.
seen, but you never really watch it. You'll watch it later. That's it. That's it.
You know what?
And-
I've never seen Rambo. Like, let's watch that.
Okay.
Have you seen Rambo?
Yes, but fuck
Okay.
off.
Well, you know,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
there
grew
are
up. I grew up
things-
watching comedy. I grew up watching Richard Pryor,
Yes.
Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy,
so
stuff
did
like
I.
that, and they reference Dolemite.
all the time.
Dolemite is actually his speech, and I don't, for the love of God, know where I heard it from. It is in a bunch of rap albums where
Yeah,
they sample
Snoop-
his speech.
Snoop Dogg is
okay. Maybe that's where it is. Snoop.
heavily influenced by Dolemite.
So I remember hearing a lot of that, and I'm like, when I heard it back on the speech, I was like, oh, I remember this from someplace. I just can't pinpoint it where, but yeah, it's a big influence on that community.
Right. I mean, just in any community, like fucking Rob Zombie would reference some of these blaxploitation movies where it's like, you know, this is the end of your life, you motherfucking dog, is
Yeah.
I think from Foxy Brown. Like, it's just, this has a longer reach than I think we realize, and because we're three white guys that really never were exposed to it, you know, it's worth visiting those kinds of things. The same with like the Hammer horror films, where it was like the low budget, low tier horror, where you think Universal monsters, but you don't really visit the Blackula or, you know, some of that other shit. So I think it has a place. I want to visit a lot of it. I may not bring it here, but I will be starting to dig deep into some of those things where I feel like blind spot movies. Like you said, you had a blind spot when it comes, you know, you didn't see, well,
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood until now. It came out in 2007. These things happen. You know, you just kind of just forget that, you know, one of the movies we were talking about earlier where we watched the trailer. I remember hearing about it. I wanted to see it, and then it just right out of my head. You know, so it's like, I think this is the reason this show exists, and I liked this for that reason.
All right, so what are we giving it?
What do you got, Scott?
So like I said before, the movie is dog shit. I mean, the movie is dog. If I'm rating this movie just based on the movie itself, I'm going to give it a 2. Again, it's funnier to watch because it is so awful. But the movie is just, the movie is fucking terrible. I mean, it's a terrible movie. The acting is terrible. I mean, the directing is fucking terrible.
stiff.
I mean, it's just everything. The fight scenes are terrible. It is fucking terrible as a movie. It is a 2, but it was a fun 2 to watch.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, Aaron?
I don't know how to rate this because for me personally, it's a 0. But as a movie that exists for other people, it's probably a 2. But maybe it's a 3. Maybe it's a 5 for people. I don't know. So
See, what do you feel? It doesn't care what other
yeah,
people
I
think
know,
about.
but I'm just gonna say don't listen to my rating. I'm gonna give it a 1.5. I only
That's
because I hated. I did not like it, and it's once again, I don't think it's a bad film. I think it's just not for me. So please, don't listen to me at all about this movie. If you are into blaxploitation and you think I'm crazy, that is completely fine, and you're completely justified in that. And I'm gonna defend myself in that.
Don't fight.
I just think that this is just not for me. Like there are some movies that are just not, like super long war epics are just not for me. Although I like some war films, so maybe there are some blaxploitation films I will like. This didn't do it for me. I really wanted to.
But this is a classic example of something that just doesn't hit you, but something that still has a place.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah,
like, and
there's a lot of those movies.
everything. I mean,
really want
to
people to understand, like,
yeah,
that
to
is what-
every awful movie that's out there still has a place in cinema.
I don't-
It just may not
But
be
it's-
for me.
I don't know.
This
or
Atlantic
isn't
you
even
Rim
an
is bad.
awful movie. Like I don't even want to call it that. It's just
No, it's a terrible movie.
Nothing about this was for me. Nothing. Not one thing. I didn't even care about all the nudity and all that stuff in it. Like none of it made me happy. Yeah,
It was equal opportunity nudity. I mean, you saw so much man ass and gross, old, dumpy, 60-year-old white man ass, and then you saw larger women's titties. You see, you know, skinnier black women, you saw a white woman. This is the most equal opportunity pimp movie ever, and
But you know how, like, usually you'd be like, okay, titties redeem anything. But to me, I just was like, all right.
That's the name of the
At
book.
one point,
Shout
I
out to the-
paused it to use the bathroom, and it was
Dolemite,
like,
titties redeem everything.
it was
On a
like
titty scene?
No, and it was like 56 minutes in, and I was like, okay. And I started watching it again. I was like, God damn, this thing feels like it's 6 hours long, and it's only 129 minutes. I had to be almost there. I paused it again. It was 101, and I'm like, okay, man, like I have to finish this, but I wasn't happy about it, and I like whatever.
It's
I don't
fine.
need to explain myself, but all I'm
You
saying is, don't listen to me about this. Listen to these two guys. Listen to go back last week. Listen to Jordan's fucking history lesson.
Yep.
Watch all the blaxploitation you want. It is just not. I'm gonna stand on the outside of the circle on this one and say, not for me.
Racist. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's
No,
that's your privilege showing.
So, for me, it's a 2.5, and the reason being is that I think it does have a lot of merit. I think it's bad in the sense that it's just badly made, but I like the idea that someone said, "I want to make a movie, and this is what I want to do," and he put it together. He made the money. He put this movie together. Whether it's good or bad, he did something that you and I are both jealous of.
Well, I would
fucking
love to
doing.
make a movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel there is merit in that sense. To me, this is a black version of Plan 9 from Outer Space, where it's just so poorly edited. So there's scenes where music starts and then just stops for no reason.
But I think that's the nice thing about this is like, and that's where I was going, is I think the story.
I wish you would go off a bridge.
Yeah, the story is in the making of this.
Yes.
The story is behind the scenes.
And that's why I think I
Yes.
like this so
Right.
much more than I think I would have if I would have just ran across and watched Dolemite.
Yeah, if we would have just watched it, not
like,
knowing.
oh, it's on Skinemax at midnight. I'm going to watch it. What is this movie? This makes no sense.
Yeah, which I'll probably check it out now that
Please
I know
do,
a little
like-
bit more about it. I'd like to see the documentary just
It
to
is
kind of piece it together.
super, super interesting. Like, Eddie Murphy is great in this. I feel like this was like a way of him coming back into the limelight. He would disappeared for a little while, and then he did this, and I really enjoyed that. And it made viewing Dolemite, the original movie, that much more. I think I have more respect for it, if that's a way to describe that.
I
It's
can
just
see
more
that.
respect of that. And I, like I said, it's in the
kiss his
making of.
penis?
I would. They didn't show that.
If you had a titty, you'd kiss it.
Kiss a titty.
Jordan would suck it.
But 2.5. You're right. This is not a movie I'm going to go revisit and watch alone. If there was some random midnight showing in the middle of white Arizona that's showing Dolemite, I think we would go see it. This
Only
may
in
be a
white
new Bev
Arizona.
thing. Honestly, this is a new Bev thing. This is
Yeah,
never
but
going
I
to be
could-
shown here.
But honestly, I could never see myself looking at the calendar and being like,
But no,
"We
see,
should
if
go to
this was like a
one."
double feature where it's like Dolemite and
There
then
will
they
be
show, like a Tarantino movie or something like
Yeah,
that, where it's like
Jackie Brown.
Grindhouse, that would be something that I can think that would be good. It would be weird. We'd be the two white guys in the middle of probably, that's it. But
No,
I
not
honestly,
at all. I don't think so.
I think the movie has merit, and it makes me want to visit this genre on my own as more research, more just understanding. And I dug it, to use the terms.
Did you
Can
dig it?
Can you dig it? I dig it. And
I've seen The Warriors. That's blaxploitation.
I love The Warriors. The Warriors is one of my favorite 70s movies. Very gritty, very New York. And trust me,
Yeah,
if
I
no one
love
had
The
seen this,
Warriors.
I would have loved to pick that and discuss
dude, I've seen
that
The
movie.
Warriors. The
That's what
Warriors
I'm
is
saying.
great.
Like, if none of us had seen it, I would love to dissect that movie. That's one of my favorites. But 2.5.
Well, if we ever
I
get
enjoyed
some
it.
listeners and they want to hear us
Talk about The Warriors,
yeah, we will do that show for you.
I love The Warriors.
All right. So now that that's over with, what is your pick, Scott?
So I tossed around a
Foxy Brown.
few.
I can't
and-
wait to see what your next pick's going to be, Jordan.
I tossed around a few movies,
You know my next pick.
and I went with one that I knew that we
After
could all
Animation
access. And this one is actually, you could get the full version on YouTube. We're staying in the 70s.
YouTube.
I'm kind of digging this. Like, I really, honestly, I'm loving the 70s vibe that we've been doing.
Yeah, so we're staying in the 70s.
shit.
I didn't pick
From
something.
1977. It's starring William Devane and Tommy Lee Jones. Rolling Thunder.
He's been away for 8 years. Now he's coming home.
Speaking for myself, I'd like to say that the whole experience has made a better man, a better officer, and a better American out of me. Thank you very much.
But the world has changed,
I've been with another man. You don't remember me, do you?
and he's changed too.
Pull it up in the air like you're gonna take me clear on up to the ceiling.
All right. This.
Now higher, man, higher, till you hear the bones starting to crack. That's it. Higher! Come on, higher! Higher!
I gotta go now.
What do you expect me to do? Just drop everything? What is wrong with you?
You're driving too slow.
It's going to take some time to readjust.
Charlie! Ah!
Shut up!
Your husband, he's got a whole bag of silver dollars, and if I don't get him, he's gonna die.
No, don't. Please don't.
Wish you could remember something. A name, a face, an accent, anything.
I can't.
Can't just let it slide, Major. They don't have any right to live. There's a storm brewing in this man. They took his arm. They took his family and his soul. His anger is building, and it's going to explode. Now, from Paul Schrader, the author of Taxi Driver, comes a new and shattering film about a man poised on the brink of violence. Rolling Thunder, starring William Devane as Charles Rain. He has a purpose. He has a plan. It's only a matter of time.
I found them. Who? The man who killed my son? I'll just get my gear. There's the 4 that came into my home, and there's 8 or 10 others. Let's go clean them up.
Rolling Thunder.
Cool. I've heard this is a great movie and I own it, so.
It's a guy with a hook on his hand.
But I've never seen it, yes.
Which is...
I remember after we recorded last week, you were talking about it, and we were kind of going through it, and it's one of those where I was working at the video store, and I would see this movie, the box art, and I would know this existed, but I just never got around to watching it, because there's another movie called Blue Thunder, which I believe is a helicopter movie, kind of like Airwolf, and I always got the two confused. But you're telling me this is a hook hand movie, and I'm all in.
Yeah, I mean, the cover is him wearing police shades, and he's just got the hook hand going. So
I love it.
I'm like, I'm into it. I hear this is another one of those movies that is just heavily influential on today's directors. Just a movie that is just another batshit crazy movie that,
like
hey, this one might hit. This one probably doesn't have a lot of black people for Aaron to watch, so we might be good.
I don't care if there's black people in the movie.
Subtitles and black people. We got to stick away from those genres, otherwise two of the hosts will be upset.
I was already eyeballing another Korean horror movie, so.
Which one was that one?
It might be one that I might pick later, but it's called Forgotten.
Major Charles Rain has come home to war.
That's rolling.
Let me see that.
Okay.
That looks, I'm kind of excited about it.
I heard this is really good.
Oh, this is.
I think it's a
like on the back. It's just
thriller?
a young William Devane. Like,
Yeah.
I love that because I'm dumb and I'll go back and watch like you're like, oh, cut me off. No, I love watching things from the 70s because I think like I grew up watching MASH and I just recently started going through all the Love Boat episodes, and it's just like the 70s were a good time for cinema. I think, everyone was kind of coming up. It was more gritty. People were exploring a lot, like with the blaxploitation or things like this, revenge movies.
Well, there was no
road
hold
movies.
on anything. There was no hold. People weren't worried about offending somebody.
No.
They weren't worried about, stereotyping somebody. Yeah. It was just, they just made the movies, man.
Right.
I mean, there was no...
We need production for this part of the show where Jordan gives history lessons at the end.
Just like war epic themes.
I'm kidding. I'm letting you talk. I'm just joking about it. So I realized last week that I should not cut Jordan off and I should allow the conversation to go. It doesn't mean I can't make jokes about it.
It's because he did get.
I know
he got
that
scolded
a lot
by
of
some listeners.
No, I didn't get scolded.
We actually had someone give constructive criticism and told him he was being a complete cockfucker.
But it was actually it was during another show, and I just realized it on my own last week. But so I apologize. I do want to apologize.
You don't have to. We are not even a year into this, and I think we're ahead of ourselves as far as quality and what we talk about. I think there are things we tighten up. I think we need to come to realizations that we're just not talking to each other.
Yeah,
we have
problem,
these conversations.
and that is my biggest problem.
We talk about a lot of shit after we're done recording. Like
Yes,
we go into a lot of topics. I think we need to understand that some of you guys out there may not understand some of the things we do or talk about, and we're really fucking nerdy and inside sometimes, and sometimes you just need a little bit more.
And if you have any
explanation.
questions, just hit us up.
Or you want to yell at Aaron, just text him.
Yell
That's
at
the
me.
break.
You wanna
I love it.
You want to scold him
I
for
love it.
screaming at us which I would love.
No
Just go
one's
ahead
going to
and
scold me.
and send it in.
Everyone thinks you guys are stupid, so.
Everyone.
Not you,
Kim.
Jordan.
It's just Kim.
Just Scott is stupid.
Yeah. I haven't seen those emails yet.
Well, I have.
Aaron
They come
wrote it.
directly to me.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Scott? Why is he so the way he is? I'm like, I don't know.
Shut up. We kicked you off the last show.
Why is he so average? Why is he so just basic?
Why is he the normal guy?
Yeah, why is he so normal?
What? Why can't this 54-year-old man message you back on Messenger? Like, what's he so busy doing?
He's already up past his bedtime. I'm glad we're recording.
I know, right?
All right, so Rolling Thunder next week.
Oh, you're trying to wrap me up?
I'm trying to wrap it up.
Wow.
You're tired. You're
you
getting
look like you're
cranky.
shaking a
Yeah,
little bit.
you need to go
I
to
just
bed.
thirsty.
You're
No, I'm
tired.
going to watch that dumb movie.
Oh, really? Yeah.
All right, everybody. So we'll watch Rolling Thunder, and then it will be snack show time, which we already, at least me and Jordan have gotten some stuff.
Got a few things.
We know Scott hasn't because he'll be like,
I know there's a few things I need to find that I've heard about, so I'm trying to keep an eye out
Like
for
what?
some stuff. I know you wanted those Pringles. I
I
think was it the
do.
elote
What the
Pringles.
fuck?
I've
I
looked
am-
everywhere I go.
You haven't looked anywhere, Scott. I don't want to hear your shit.
I saw something today.
Oh, of course you did.
that
Did
I'm
you,
like-
did you grab it?
I sent you
No,
guys
no,
a picture.
no.
Go get it.
I saw it online.
Oh.
Okay.
And they said that it's hitting stores.
What is it?
It is a continuation from the ice creams that we ate. It is Grey Poupon ice cream.
Oh, my God.
my God.
I'll try it.
So
Pardon
I'm
me.
on the look right now. So
Is it the same company, Van Leeuwen?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
Okay,
Yep.
keep an eye out.
Interesting.
Walmart's got the only Van Leeuwen stuff, so Walmart,
Yep.
we'll check it out.
Is it Van Leeuwen?
Van Leeuwen.
I
Yeah.
did get the Stranger Things pizzas, but that's have nothing to do with the snack show. I just can't wait to eat them.
We'll talk about them.
All right, everybody. So we'll see you back here next week for Rolling Thunder. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to I'll Watch It Later.
Big gulps, huh?
Well, see you later.